For a pressure gauge to be trustworthy, whether it's measuring gases or liquids, it must be exceptionally well made and accurate. To start, a worker loads an aluminum faceplate into a printing press. It applies a colored scale used for measuring pressure in pounds per square inch. Then a worker puts a copper tube into a bending machine that bends, cuts, and flattens sections of the tube. Each piece becomes a pressure-sensing tube known as a worden tube. Then a worker cuts lengths of brass that he machines into connectors. They will link the worden tube to an inlet pipe. He melts zinc solder in the connector's receptacle, and he mounts the worden tube in the correct position. He fills the gap between the connector and the worden tube with solder. Then he flushes the heated piece with water to cool it down, sealing the tube in place. He puts the cooled piece on a mounting fixture and solders the other end of the worden tube to the gauge's internal mechanism. He seals the gap and cools it down. Then he puts the finished pieces, or pressure system assemblies as they are now called, into a cleaning machine. Another worker takes a gear mechanism which controls the mechanical movement inside the gauge and places it on the connector. A machine screws the gear mechanism in place. He then takes the gear's connecting link and rivets it to the pressure system assembly. He fits the pressure system assembly inside a protective stainless steel housing. Next, a worker calibrates the assembly. She loosens up the connecting link slightly to prevent friction, puts on the indicator needle, and runs a test. She ensures the gauge reads accurately at 3 key positions, and then screws the faceplate onto the gauge. Then she puts a glass cover over the faceplate and adds a steel ring to hold it in place. A crimping machine evenly folds the ring's edge until it makes a perfect seal. A worker completes the pressure gauge by sealing off the fill hole with a rubber plug. As accurate and dependable as a Swiss watch, a trustworthy pressure gauge also has a pretty face.